"You're not competent to make these decisions anymore, Walter." My daughter-in-law said it loud enough for the entire lawyer's office to hear. I sat there, didn't argue, just watched her perform for the receptionist, the paralegal, anyone who'd listen. What she didn't know was I'd already been evaluated. Perfect cognitive score. Dated 3 days earlier. Sometimes the best response is letting someone dig their own grave while you hold the shovel. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I'm 72 years old, retired union electrician, lived in the same house for 43 years. The house where my wife Dorothy and I raised our son Kevin. The house where Dorothy died 2 years ago after a stroke took her speech first, then everything else. Kevin met Vanessa 6 months after the funeral. She worked in pharmaceutical sales, drove a leased BMW, had opinions about my furniture, my yard, the way I kept Dorothy's reading chair in the corner of the living room. They were married within a year. "It's just so sad seeing him alone in that big house," Vanessa told people. I heard her say it at the reception. I was standing 10 feet away getting coffee. She didn't lower her voice. The first year was fine. Normal. Kevin and Vanessa came by once a month, sometimes twice. We'd have dinner. She'd talk about her sales targets, the regional manager who didn't appreciate her, the house they were saving for. Always saving for something. "Dad, we're thinking of buying a place," Kevin said one Sunday. February, maybe March. Cold enough that I had the fireplace going. "But the down payment is brutal. 20% of $480,000. I knew what was coming. "We were wondering if you could help, just with part of it. We'd pay you back once we sell Vanessa's condo." I wrote the check that week. $35,000. Wiped out a third of my savings. But Kevin was my only child. Dorothy would have wanted me to help. They moved in that May. Nice place. Subdivision with an HOA and mailboxes that all matched. I helped them move furniture. Spent 8 hours carrying boxes in 90-degree heat, while Vanessa directed traffic from the air-conditioned kitchen. "Not there, Walter. That's the formal dining area." "No, thank you." Not that day. The payback never came up again. Not when they sold her condo 3 months later. Not when I saw pictures of their vacation to Turks and Caicos on Facebook. Not when Vanessa got the new BMW. 8 months after the move, Kevin called. "Dad, Vanessa's been offered a VP position, but she needs to invest in the company's partnership program. It's $25,000, but it's a guaranteed return." "What kind of investment?" "I don't understand all the details, but it's a pharmaceutical distribution opportunity, ground floor." I didn't believe it, but I believed Kevin believed it. I transferred $25,000 that afternoon. The opportunity collapsed after 6 months. Something about FDA regulations and licensing requirements. Kevin mentioned it once over Chinese takeout, said they'd lost everything they'd put in. Never mentioned my money specifically, just lumped it into we. Then came the smaller requests. "Dad, our HVAC died. $4,100 for a new unit. Can you help?" "Dad, Vanessa's car needs new brakes and rotors, $850. "Dad, we're short on the mortgage this month. Kevin's commission check got delayed, $2,400. I kept a spreadsheet, not because I was tracking it for payback, just because I'd always tracked my finances. Habit from 40 years of union wages and careful living. The requests came every 6 weeks or so, always phrased as temporary, always phrased as urgent. By the time Dorothy had been gone 2 years, I'd transferred $73,800 total. not counting the down payment or the investment, just the emergencies, the shortfalls, the unexpected expenses. Kevin visited maybe once a month. Vanessa came about half the time. When she did come, she spent most of the visit walking through my house like she was taking inventory. "You really should update this kitchen, Walter. These cabinets are so dated. You could get $400,000 for this house easily, maybe more. That's a lot of equity just sitting here. Have you thought about a condo, something smaller? You don't need 4 bedrooms." I'd built those cabinets myself in 1986. Dorothy had picked out the stain color. Last Thanksgiving they came for dinner. I'd spent 2 days cooking. Turkey, stuffing, Dorothy's cranberry recipe that took 4 hours because you had to strain the berries twice. They arrived at 2 p.m. Dinner was at 3. Vanessa spent the first hour on her phone. "Work emergency," she said. Kevin watched football. I set the table with Dorothy's good china, the set we'd gotten as a wedding gift and only used for holidays. We sat down at 3:15. "This stuffing is really dry, Walter," Vanessa said. Fork down after 2 bites. "Did you use a recipe?" "Dorothy's recipe. Same one I've made for 30 years. "Well, maybe it's time to try something new." They left at 4:30. Kevin said Vanessa had a morning meeting and needed to prepare. I threw away 8 pounds of leftovers the next day. The turkey had been $47. Premium organic bird, because Vanessa had mentioned at dinner the previous year that she only ate organic poultry. Christmas, they sent a text, spending the holiday with Vanessa's family in Connecticut. I should come if I wanted. I didn't go. Connecticut was an 8-hour drive, and I hadn't been invited until December 18th. Vanessa's mother had probably said something about the optics of excluding me. I spent Christmas Day at Barbara's house next door. She'd been widowed 3 years before Dorothy died. We'd been trading holiday meals since we'd both been alone. Her kids lived in Oregon. "They don't visit much," I said when Barbara asked about Kevin. "Busy lives," she said. "The polite thing." "Yeah." Kevin's birthday was January 9th. I called that morning, voicemail, left a message, tried again that evening. He texted back at 9 p.m. "Thanks, Dad. Crazy day. Talk soon." My birthday was January 24th. No call, no text. I turned 72 alone. Same house, same chair where Dorothy used to sit with her crossword puzzles and decaf coffee. February, Kevin called. "Dad, we need to talk about something important. Can we come by this weekend?" They showed up Saturday at 11 a.m., both of them. Vanessa carrying a leather folder. I'd made coffee. Set out Dorothy's good cups, the white ones with blue trim she'd picked out at an estate sale 20 years back. We sat in the living room, same room where I'd taught Kevin to tie his shoes, where Dorothy had hosted book club for 15 years. "Dad, we're worried about you," Kevin started. His voice had that careful quality, like he was following a script. "Worried how?" "You're forgetting things, getting confused." He looked at Vanessa. She opened the folder. "Last month you called Kevin 3 times in one day asking if he was coming for dinner. You don't remember that?" I'd called once, left a message. He'd never called back. "I called once." "Walter, this is exactly what we're talking about." Vanessa's voice had that patient quality people use with children. "You don't remember the other calls. That's concerning. Show me the phone records." "We're not here to argue." She pulled out papers from the folder. "We're here because we care about you, and we think you need help managing things." "What things?" "Your finances, the house, medical decisions." She slid papers across the coffee table, the same table where Dorothy and I used to play Scrabble on Sunday nights. "We've had a power of attorney drawn up. It's for your own protection." I looked at the papers, didn't touch them. "This gives us authority to make healthcare decisions if you're unable to, and to help manage your finances, make sure bills get paid, that kind of thing." "My bills are paid." "Are they?" Vanessa tilted her head. "Because Kevin tried to call you last week to confirm a transfer, and you didn't answer for 6 hours. I was at the hardware store. Then I had lunch with Harold from the Union Hall. I don't carry my phone everywhere." "That's concerning behavior for someone your age." "Not carrying my phone? Not being reachable for 6 hours?" Kevin hadn't said anything in 3 minutes, just sat there while his wife performed concern. "The power of attorney is standard," Vanessa continued. "Our lawyer said everyone your age should have one. It just makes things easier if something happens." "What's going to happen?" "Dad, you're 72. Kevin finally spoke. "We just want to make sure everything's handled. Make sure you're taken care of." "I've been taking care of myself for 7 decades. "We know, and you've done great. But things change. People need help." Vanessa again. "This is what families do." I looked at the papers. Verbal power of attorney. Healthcare directive. The language was dense, legal, but the summary was clear. "Sign this, and Kevin becomes my legal representative. Can access my accounts, make medical decisions, sell property if he determines I can't manage it myself. I need to think about it." "Of course." Vanessa smiled, collected the papers. "We'll leave these with you, but maybe don't wait too long. You never know when you might need this kind of protection." They left 15 minutes later. Vanessa had another meeting. Always another meeting. I sat in Dorothy's chair. The leather was worn smooth where her back had rested for 20 years of evening reading. $35,000 down payment, $25,000 investment, $73,800 in transfers. I opened my laptop, pulled up the spreadsheet, added it up with the calculator because I wanted to see the number typed out. $130,800 in 2 years, not counting the dinners I'd made that got picked at, not counting the furniture they'd taken from the house. Dorothy's grandmother's dresser, the antique lamp from our bedroom, the oak desk I'd refinished in the garage. "Just borrowing it, Dad. Looks great in the study." Not counting the 8-hour moving day, or the birthday calls that went unreturned, or the Thanksgiving turkey that was too dry, or the Christmas invitation that came 7 days before the holiday. Not counting the phone calls that always started the same way. "Dad, we need to ask you something." I'd become an ATM that occasionally got invited to dinner, when Vanessa remembered to schedule me between meetings. Monday morning I called Dr. Mitchell. I'd been seeing him for 30 years. He'd treated Dorothy through the stroke, sat with me in the hospital the day she died. "Walter, good to hear from you. Everything okay?" "I need a cognitive evaluation, full assessment, something official." "Any particular reason?" "Legal purposes." He didn't ask more questions. Set me up for Wednesday afternoon. The evaluation took 3 hours. Memory tests, problem-solving exercises, psychological assessment. Dr. Mitchell walked me through each section, made notes on a tablet. Walter, you're scoring in the 96th percentile for your age group. Your memory is excellent. Cognitive function is completely normal. Better than normal, actually. Can you document that? Already am. I'll have a written report by Friday, signed and notarized if you need it. I need it. Friday, I picked up the report. 4 pages. Medical letterhead, Dr. Mitchell's signature, a notary stamp, clear statement. Patient Walter Harrison shows no signs of cognitive decline, dementia, or impairment. Fully competent to manage his own affairs. I made 3 copies. Put one in my safe deposit box. Gave one to my lawyer. Kept one in my desk drawer. Then I waited. The call came Tuesday. Kevin. Dad, did you sign those papers yet? Still thinking about it. It's been over a week. What's there to think about? Just want to be sure. Be sure of what? It's for your protection. I'll let you know when I decide. Silence. Then Vanessa's voice in the background. I couldn't hear the words, but I knew the tone. Vanessa thinks maybe we should all sit down with the lawyer, Kevin said. He can explain everything, answer your questions. I don't have questions. Then why haven't you signed? I'm thinking about it. Dad, this is getting ridiculous. We're trying to help you. I know. I'll call you when I decide. I hung up, hands steady. That surprised me. Thursday, Vanessa called, not Kevin. Vanessa. Walter, we need to talk about your behavior. My behavior. This stubbornness about the power of attorney. It's concerning. It's exactly the kind of thing that shows someone isn't thinking clearly. I'm thinking fine. Are you? Because refusing help when your family is offering it suggests otherwise. I'm not refusing help. I'm considering legal documents. For 2 weeks? That's not normal, Walter. What's normal? Most people sign these in one meeting. The fact that you're dragging this out, inventing reasons to delay, it's worrying. I haven't invented anything. You're being paranoid. That's a symptom, you know, of cognitive decline. My jaw tightened. I could feel it in my chest, the way my vision seemed to sharpen. I had a cognitive evaluation done on Wednesday. Dr. Mitchell's report shows perfect function. No decline, no impairment. Silence. 3 seconds. 4. You what? I got evaluated. I'm competent. Fully. You didn't tell us you were doing that. Didn't know I needed permission. That's not... Walter, that's paranoid behavior. Getting secret evaluations, not trusting your family. The evaluation wasn't secret. It's standard. Anyone can request one. But why would you? Unless you're having doubts about your own competency? I'm not having doubts. I wanted documentation. Documentation of what? That I'm fine. Another pause. Shorter. We'll need to see that report. No. Excuse me? It's my medical record. You're not entitled to it. I'm your daughter-in-law. We're trying to take care of you. And I appreciate that. But I don't need care. The evaluation proves it. Walter. Her voice changed. Harder. You're making this very difficult. I'm just being careful. You're being stubborn. And honestly, this whole conversation is proving our point. You're not thinking clearly. You're refusing help. You're getting defensive and paranoid. These are textbook signs. Signs of what? That you need someone looking out for your interests. I can look out for my own interests. Can you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're an elderly man living alone, refusing medical oversight, making irrational decisions about legal protections. That's exactly the kind of situation that requires intervention. The rage was building now, hot and focused. I'm not signing the power of attorney. Walter, I've thought about it. The answer is no. You're making a mistake. My mistake to make. We'll see about that. She hung up. No goodbye. I sat there holding the phone long after the call ended. The clock ticked. Same clock that had been on that wall for 28 years. Dorothy had bought it at a craft fair. Saturday afternoon I was in the garage, working on a table I was building for Barbara's grandson. Birthday present. He was turning 16. A car pulled into my driveway. Not Kevin's Honda, a gray Lexus. Vanessa got out, by herself. I set down the sander, walked to the garage entrance. Walter, we need to talk. Kevin's not with you. Kevin's home. This is between us. What is? Your obstinacy. Your refusal to be reasonable. She walked into my garage without being invited, looked around at my tools, my workbench, the half-finished table. You're still doing woodworking. That's dangerous at your age. I've been doing woodwork for 50 years. And you've been 72 for 50 years? What do you want, Vanessa? I want you to understand something. She turned, looked at me directly. Kevin loves you. He wants to help you. But you're making that impossible. I don't need help. You're 72. Living alone, refusing to let your family assist with basic planning. Basic planning. Power of attorney is standard. Everyone has one. Then everyone can make their own choice. I'm making mine. Your choice is wrong. It's mine to make. Not if you're incompetent. The word hung there, sharp. I have a doctor's evaluation saying otherwise. From your personal physician, who you've known for 30 years. Not exactly objective. Dr. Mitchell is a licensed physician. Who has an incentive to keep you as a patient? Do you know how much money he makes from your Medicare visits? Are you questioning his medical assessment? I'm questioning whether one biased evaluation is sufficient. Sufficient for what? To determine competency. I'm competent. The evaluation proves it. One evaluation, from a biased source, that wouldn't hold up legally. My hands curled into fists. I forced them open. What are you saying? I'm saying that if you continue to refuse reasonable assistance, if you continue to make irrational decisions, Kevin and I will have to take steps. What steps? Legal ones. Guardianship proceedings. Competency hearings. We have documentation of your erratic behavior, the forgotten phone calls, the paranoia, the refusal of help. That's not documentation. That's lies. It's our testimony, and it's consistent with dementia patterns. She smiled, small. A judge will see an elderly man living alone, refusing family assistance, getting defensive when help is offered. That's textbook decline, Walter. You're threatening me. I'm informing you. There are legal mechanisms for when elderly people can no longer make safe decisions. We'd prefer not to use them. But if you force our hand, we will. Get out of my garage. Walter, get out. She left, didn't rush, took her time walking to the Lexus, started it, backed out slowly. I stood there for 20 minutes after she left. The rage was still hot in my chest. She was going to file for guardianship, claim I was incompetent, use the power of attorney refusal as evidence, get a judge to declare me unable to manage my own affairs. And then what? Control my finances? Sell my house? Put me in a facility? I thought about the $130,800, the dinners, the furniture, the missed birthdays. This wasn't about my welfare. This was about my assets. The house was worth $420,000. I'd had it appraised last year for insurance purposes. No mortgage. Free and clear. My savings were $127,000 after all the transfers. My pension was $3,400 a month. Added up, I was worth more than $500,000, and I was 72 and alone. That's what Vanessa saw. Not a father-in-law, an estate. Monday morning I called my lawyer, Michael Patterson. He'd handled Dorothy's will, our estate planning, the deed paperwork. Michael, I need to talk about guardianship proceedings. Someone filing against you? Not yet. But I think it's coming. On what grounds? My daughter-in-law claims I'm incompetent. I refused to sign a power of attorney she wanted, and now she's threatening legal action. Do you have any documented cognitive issues? None. I just had a full evaluation, perfect score. Then she doesn't have grounds. She says she has documentation. Claims I've been erratic, forgetful, paranoid. Does she? She's making it up. Silence. Michael was thinking. Walter, I need to be straight with you. Even fabricated claims can gain traction if they're presented well. An elderly man living alone, family members expressing concern, judges err on the side of caution in these cases. What should I do? Document everything. Keep records of your daily activities, bills paid on time, medical appointments, social interactions. Build a paper trail showing competency. I have the evaluation. That's good. But one evaluation can be challenged. You need ongoing proof. And Walter, you might want to consider, does she have any financial motive here? I told him about the money, the house value, the pattern. That's important. If we can show this is financially motivated, not welfare motivated, it changes the case significantly. How do I prove that? Do you have records of financial transfers? Spreadsheet? Every dollar. Good. Keep that. And Walter, one more thing. Don't confront her. Don't give her ammunition. If she files, we'll respond through proper channels, but don't engage directly. I didn't tell him about the garage conversation. Too late for that advice. That week, I started documenting. Wrote down every activity, bills paid, groceries bought, doctor appointments, coffee with Harold, dinner at Barbara's. Built the evidence Michael wanted. Wednesday, Barbara knocked on my door. Morning, I was having coffee. Walter, I need to show you something. She had her phone, pulled up Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, I said. I know, but Vanessa is. The post was long, 6 paragraphs. Posted Tuesday night. I'm heartbroken to share that my father-in-law is showing signs of dementia. He's forgetting conversations, becoming paranoid, refusing help from family. We're trying to get him the care he needs, but he's resistant. Please keep us in your prayers as we navigate this difficult situation. 247 likes, 89 comments. I read the comments. Didn't recognize most of the names. Vanessa's friends, co-workers. So sorry you're dealing with this. Dementia is so hard on families. You're doing the right thing. Have you considered memory care facilities? Barbara was watching my face. She's lying, I said. I know. How do you know? Walter, I've lived next door to you for 19 years. I had coffee with you 3 days ago. You're fine. She's building a case, making it public so people believe her version. What are you going to do? My lawyer says don't engage. Document competency. You should respond. Correct the record. I'm not on Facebook. Then get on, or let me respond. And say what? He's actually fine? Who's more credible, the concerned daughter-in-law or the neighbor? Barbara set down her phone. This is evil, Walter. This is calculated. I called Michael, told him about the post. That complicates things, he said. She's creating a public record. If this goes to court, she'll point to that post. Show that she was concerned enough to reach out for support. Can I sue her for defamation? Maybe, but that's expensive and slow, and it might make you look vindictive, could support her incompetency claims. So she gets to lie publicly, and I do nothing? For now, yes. We fight this in court, not on social media. I hated that answer. But he was right. Thursday, my phone rang. Didn't recognize the number. Mr. Harrison, this is Amanda Chen from Adult Protective Services. My chest tightened. Adult Protective Services. Yes, sir. We received a report of concern about your welfare. I'm required to follow up. What kind of report? The report suggests you may be experiencing cognitive decline and living in an unsafe situation. I need to schedule a home visit to assess your circumstances. Who made the report? I can't disclose that. But I do need to conduct an assessment. It's standard procedure. I'm not experiencing cognitive decline. I have a medical evaluation proving it. That's good to hear. But I still need to complete the assessment. It's not optional, Mr. Harrison. If you refuse, that itself becomes concerning. We scheduled for Monday afternoon. She'd come to the house, inspect the living conditions, interview me, determine if I was safe. I called Michael immediately. She filed an APS report. She's escalating. That's actually good. Good? It shows her hand. She's moving too fast, being too aggressive. That suggests desperation, not genuine concern. When the APS worker comes, be cooperative. Show her the house. Answer her questions honestly. Give her the cognitive evaluation. This could actually help us. How? If APS clears you, that's powerful evidence. A neutral third party determining you're fine. Much harder for her to challenge that. Monday, Amanda Chen arrived at 2 p.m. She was maybe 35. Carried a tablet and a clipboard. Mr. Harrison, thank you for meeting with me. Not sure I had a choice. She smiled. Small. I know this feels intrusive. I'll be as quick as possible. She walked through the house, took notes, checked the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom. House is very clean. I clean every Saturday. Bills paid on time. Always. Any missed appointments? Forgotten medications? I don't take medications, and I keep a calendar. I showed her the calendar, hanging in the kitchen, doctor appointments, coffee dates, Barbara's birthday marked for next month. Do you drive? Yes. Any accidents? None in 47 years. She asked about family. I told her about Kevin and Vanessa. Kept it factual. Didn't mention the money. They filed the report? I assume so. They're the ones claiming I'm declining. Why would they claim that? You'd have to ask them. She made notes. Do you feel safe in your home? Completely. Any concerns about your ability to manage your affairs? None. The report suggested you've been refusing help from family. I refused to sign a power of attorney. That's not refusing help. That's making a legal decision. Why did you refuse? Because I don't need it. I'm managing fine on my own. Some people see power of attorney as a safety measure. Plan ahead in case something happens. Some people use power of attorney to take control when nothing's wrong. She looked up from her tablet. You think that's what's happening here? I think my daughter-in-law wants access to my finances. That's a serious accusation. It's an observation based on behavior. She asked more questions. Cognitive tests. Simple ones. What day was it? Who was the president? Count backward from 100 by sevens. Mr. Harrison, I have to say, you seem very competent. I am competent. The report suggested otherwise, described someone forgetful, confused, paranoid. I'm none of those things. I see that. More notes. I'm going to clear this case. I don't see any safety concerns. Your home is well maintained. You're clearly managing your affairs, and you show no signs of cognitive impairment. What happens now? I file my report. The case gets closed. If another report comes in, we'd have to follow up again. But this visit will be on record. She left 15 minutes later. I watched her car disappear down the street. Michael was right. This helped. APS clearance was powerful. Evidence. But it wouldn't stop Vanessa. 2 days later, Kevin called. First time I'd heard from him in 3 weeks. Dad, we need to talk. About what? Vanessa told me what happened, the APS visit. She would know. She filed the report. She's worried about you. She's worried about my bank account. Silence. Dad, that's not fair, isn't it? Add up what I've given you in 2 years. Then tell me I'm being unfair. We've never asked for anything we didn't need. You've never paid back anything you promised to. That's not. We've been struggling, you know that. I know you went to Turks and Caicos last year. I know Vanessa drives a new BMW. I know you just renovated your kitchen. How do you know about the kitchen? You posted pictures on Facebook. So you're spying on us now? I'm observing what you choose to share publicly, while claiming you can't pay me back because money's tight. Dad, this isn't about money. Then what's it about? Your safety, your welfare. We love you. Show me. What? Show me you love me. Visit without needing something. Call on my birthday. Say thank you. Show me. We do. You don't. You haven't. Not in 2 years. His voice changed, quieter. Is that what this is about? You're upset we don't visit enough, so you're being difficult about the power of attorney? I'm not being difficult. I'm protecting myself. From what? From being declared incompetent so you can take control of assets I spent 50 years building. No one's trying to take anything. Vanessa threatened me in my garage. Said she'd file for guardianship if I didn't sign. She's frustrated. You're being so stubborn. I'm being careful. You're being paranoid. Kevin, I'm your father. I raised you. I put you through college. I helped with your wedding, your house, your emergencies. I've given you $800 in 2 years. Silence. And now I'm supposed to hand over legal control because Vanessa thinks I'm too old to make my own decisions? That's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition. Dad, I had a cognitive evaluation, perfect score. I passed an APS inspection. I'm competent. I'm fine. And I'm done being treated like an ATM with dementia. No one thinks. Vanessa does. She posted it on Facebook, called me demented, told 247 people I'm incompetent. That's not concern, that's slander. She's trying to get support. This is hard for her. Hard for her. I'm the one being called incompetent. I'm the one getting investigated by APS. I'm the one whose reputation is being destroyed online, but it's hard for her. Dad, you're not being fair to Vanessa. She's been nothing but kind to you. That broke something. Some last thread of patience. Kind. She criticized Dorothy's stuffing. She called my cabinets dated. She's visited maybe 12 times in 2 years. She threatened to have me declared incompetent. That's your definition of kind? She's under a lot of stress. So am I. Difference is, my stress is caused by her. What do you want from us? Nothing? I want nothing. That's the point? Dad, I need to go. I hung up, hands shaking now. The rage had burned through into something colder. They weren't going to stop. Kevin was fully on Vanessa's side, saw me as the problem, the stubborn old man who wouldn't accept help. I called Michael. She's not backing down. Kevin just called. He's defending her. This is going to court. Then we prepare. I'll need all your documentation, medical records, financial records, the APS report, everything. When do you think she'll file? Soon. She's already building the public case, the Facebook post, the APS report. Those are foundation. She'll file within a month. What are my chances? Honestly? Good. You have evidence. She has accusations. But Walter, these cases are ugly. She'll say things. Try to make you look bad. Are you ready for that? Do I have a choice? You could sign the power of attorney, give her what she wants, avoid court. And then what? She has full access, can move me into a facility, sell my house. I'm supposed to just trust she won't? No. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just laying out options. The option is we fight. Then we fight. Friday night, I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about Kevin, about raising him, teaching him to ride a bike, helping with homework, building the treehouse in the backyard that was still there, rotting now. Where had it broken? When had he stopped being my son and started being Vanessa's husband? Maybe it was gradual. Maybe I'd missed the signs. Maybe the minute Dorothy died, he'd started seeing me as a burden instead of a father. Or maybe Vanessa had always seen me that way, and Kevin just absorbed her view. Saturday morning, Barbara came over with coffee and muffins. You look terrible. Didn't sleep. What happened? I told her about the call with Kevin, the fight, the ultimatum. He chose her? He's married to her. He's your son. She's his wife. That wins. Not always. In this case, yes. We drank coffee, ate muffins, didn't talk for a while. What are you going to do? Barbara finally asked. Wait for her to file, then fight. You could leave, sell the house, move somewhere she can't find you. This is my house. Dorothy and I built a life here. I'm not running. Sometimes running is smart. Sometimes standing is necessary. She left at noon. I spent the afternoon in the garage, finished the table for her grandson, sanded it smooth, applied the first coat of stain. The work helped, focused my mind. Monday morning, my doorbell rang. 10 a.m. Process server. He handed me papers. You've been served. Petition for guardianship, filed by Kevin Harrison and Vanessa Harrison, requesting full legal guardianship on grounds of cognitive impairment and inability to manage personal affairs. Court date set for 6 weeks out. I called Michael immediately. They filed. I'll need copies of everything. Bring them to my office this afternoon. I drove to his office at 2 p.m. He read through the petition while I sat across from his desk. This is aggressive. They're asking for full guardianship, not just financial. Personal decisions, too. Meaning what? Where you live, medical treatment, everything. Can they get it? Not based on what's here. Their evidence is weak, mostly testimony. No medical documentation supporting decline. So we'll win. Probably. But Walter, court is unpredictable. Judges are cautious with elderly people. If she performs well, if Kevin backs her up, if the judge decides to err on the side of safety, you could lose. Then what? Then they become your legal guardians, control everything, over my dead body. Let's make sure it doesn't come to that. We spent 2 hours preparing. Michael made lists of evidence we needed, witnesses we should call, strategy for court. The cognitive evaluation is key. Dr. Mitchell will testify? Yes, I already asked him. Good. We'll also call the APS worker. Her clearance report helps, and we'll put you on the stand. Let the judge see you're competent. What about the money? The transfers? That's important. Shows motive. We'll present the spreadsheet. Demonstrate a pattern of financial exploitation. Will that matter legally? It shows why they want guardianship. Not for your welfare, for access. That's powerful. I left his office at 4:30. Drove home. The house felt empty. I walked through the rooms, the kitchen where Dorothy used to cook, the bedroom where she died, the living room where we'd raised Kevin. This house was my life, our life, and they wanted to take it. The next weeks were preparation. Michael filed responses, gathered evidence, scheduled depositions. Vanessa's deposition was scheduled first. I wasn't allowed to attend, but Michael called me after. She's good, very polished. Claims she's been worried for over a year. Says you've been declining gradually. That's a lie. She has examples. Says you forgot about plans multiple times. Called Kevin repeatedly about the same things. Got confused about dates. None of that happened. She's betting you can't prove it didn't. It's her word against yours. What about the money? She claims all transfers were gifts. Says you offered, that you wanted to help. Some were gifts. but she promised payback on the down payment and the investment. Do you have that in writing? No. It was verbal. Then it's her word against yours on that too. So she just lies and wins? She lies and we counter. That's how this works. Kevin's deposition was 2 days later. Michael called again. He backed her up, confirmed her timeline, said he's been worried about you for months. He's lying. Or she's convinced him it's true. Either way, they're presenting a united front. What about the financial stuff? He claims you offered. Says you've always been generous. That the money was never loans, just gifts. The investment was supposed to be paid back. He says you told him not to worry about it, that you wanted to help. I never said that. Walter, without documentation, this becomes he said, he said. We need to focus on competency. That's what wins the case. I am competent. I know. We prove that. We win. The weeks crawled. I documented everything, kept detailed records, bills paid, activities completed, conversations had. Barbara checked on me daily, brought food, kept me company. You're losing weight. Not hungry. You need to eat. Can't go to court looking sick. She was right. I forced myself to eat, to sleep, to maintain routine. Harold from the Union Hall visited. We had coffee at the diner. Heard you're having trouble with family? Word travels. Always does. What's the situation? I gave him the basics. He listened, didn't interrupt. That's rough, Walt. What do you need? Nothing. Just waiting for court. You need someone to testify? Character witness? Maybe. I'll ask my lawyer. You let me know. Whatever you need. That helped. Knowing people believed me. The night before court, I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Same ceiling I'd painted when we bought the house in 1979. Dorothy had picked the color. Antique white. Morning came too fast. I dressed carefully, suit and tie, shaved, combed my hair. Michael picked me up at 8 a.m. How are you feeling? Like I'm on trial for being old. That's essentially what this is, but we have evidence. We're ready. The courthouse was downtown. Old building, marble floors, high ceilings. We sat outside the courtroom on a wooden bench. Kevin and Vanessa arrived 15 minutes later. They sat on the opposite side of the hall. Didn't look at me. Kevin looked tired. Older than I remembered. Vanessa looked professional. Suit, heels, hair, perfect. The bailiff called us in at 9:30. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. The judge was a woman, maybe 60. Judge Patricia Morrison. She looked tired, too. We sat at separate tables. Michael beside me. Vanessa's lawyer, expensive suit, silver hair, beside them. Judge Morrison reviewed the petition. This is a guardianship hearing for Walter Harrison, age 72. Petitioners are Kevin and Vanessa Harrison, claiming respondent is unable to manage his personal and financial affairs due to cognitive decline. She looked at me. Mr. Harrison, you're represented by counsel? Yes, Your Honor. And you understand the nature of these proceedings? I do. Very well. We'll hear from petitioners first. Vanessa's lawyer stood, called Vanessa to the stand. She walked up calmly, placed her hand on the Bible, swore to tell the truth. The lawyer, his name was Bradford, asked her to describe her concerns. Your Honor, I've been worried about Walter for over a year. He's been forgetting things, conversations we've had, plans we've made. He'll call my husband multiple times asking the same questions. Can you give specific examples? Last November, we'd confirmed we were coming for Thanksgiving. Walter called 3 times that week asking if we were coming. Each time we reminded him. He didn't remember the previous calls. Lie. They'd confirmed the day before. I'd called once to ask what time. What else have you observed? He's become paranoid, suspicious of family. When we tried to help him set up a power of attorney, standard planning for someone his age, he refused, became defensive, accused us of trying to steal from him. Did he say why he thought that? He claimed we'd never paid him back for money he'd given us, but, Your Honor, those were gifts he offered. We never asked him to treat them as loans. Did he ever ask for repayment? Never. Not until we tried to discuss the power of attorney. Then suddenly everything became about money. That's when we realized something was wrong. This paranoia, this sudden fixation on finances, it's a classic sign of cognitive decline. Bradford asked more questions. Vanessa answered smoothly, painted a picture of a declining old man who didn't understand his own confusion. Michael cross-examined. Ms. Harrison, you mentioned Mr. Harrison called multiple times about Thanksgiving. Do you have phone records showing those calls? I don't have them with me. But they exist. I assume so. You assume. You haven't actually checked your phone records? I didn't think to pull them. So your testimony about multiple calls is based on memory, your memory. Yes. And you're testifying that Mr. Harrison has memory problems, but you're asking the court to trust your memory over his? I'm not the one with cognitive decline. Have you been evaluated for cognitive decline? Of course not. I'm 38 years old. So we're taking your word that your memory is reliable. Yes. Let's talk about the money. You testified that all financial transfers from Mr. Harrison were gifts. They were. The $35,000 for your house down payment, that was discussed as a gift? Walter offered it, said he wanted to help. Did he say it was a gift? Use those words? Pause. He said he wanted to help us buy a house. That's not the same as saying it's a gift. Did he ever say, this is a gift, not a loan? Not in those exact words. What about the $25,000 for your business investment? Was that discussed as a gift? He wanted to help Kevin's career. Did he say this is a gift? He said he wanted to invest in our future. Invest. That's an interesting word choice. Investments typically have expected returns, don't they? I don't know what he meant exactly, but you're certain he meant gift, not loan. That's how we understood it. Michael went through the transfers, one by one. Each time, Vanessa claimed they were gifts. Each time, she couldn't produce evidence of that being stated explicitly. Ms. Harrison, you posted on Facebook that Mr. Harrison was showing signs of dementia. Do you have medical training? No. Are you qualified to diagnose dementia? I was describing what I was seeing. Which was? Memory problems, confusion, paranoia. Did you suggest he see a doctor? Of course. And did he? Pause. He saw his regular doctor, Dr. Mitchell, who's been his physician for 30 years. Yes. And Dr. Mitchell evaluated him? I don't know the details. You don't know if the doctor you encouraged him to see actually evaluated him for the condition you were publicly claiming he had? I assumed Kevin would follow up. But you didn't verify? No. So you posted publicly that your father-in-law has dementia without confirming whether he'd actually been medically evaluated for dementia. I was asking for support. By publicly claiming a medical condition you're not qualified to diagnose and didn't confirm exists. I was concerned. Concerned enough to post on Facebook, not concerned enough to verify the facts. Bradford objected. Judge Morrison sustained it. Michael moved on. You filed an Adult Protective Services report. Yes. What did you hope would happen? I wanted them to evaluate whether Walter was safe. And what was their finding? Pause. Longer. They cleared him. They found no safety concerns. That was their assessment. So a neutral, third-party agency investigated and determined Mr. Harrison was competent and safe. One visit doesn't tell the whole story, but it tells part of the story, the part where professionals found no evidence supporting your claims. Bradford objected again. Sustained. Michael sat down. Vanessa stepped down. Kevin was called next. He walked to the stand slowly, didn't look at me. Bradford asked similar questions. Kevin gave similar answers, backed up Vanessa's timeline, confirmed the memory problems, the paranoia, the concerning behavior. When did you first become worried about your father? About a year ago. He started repeating himself, forgetting things we'd talked about. Can you give examples? He'd ask me about holidays multiple times, forget we'd already discussed them. Call me about things we'd already settled. Did this concern you? Yes. My mother had a stroke. I was worried Dad might be having similar issues. What did you do? We tried to help. Offered to set up a power of attorney so we could assist if he needed it. How did he react? He got angry, defensive, started accusing us of trying to steal from him. Had you ever tried to steal from him? Never. He's my father. I love him. Kevin's voice broke slightly. Real emotion. He believed what he was saying. Michael cross-examined. Mr. Harrison, you love your father. Yes. When's the last time you visited him? Pause. A few weeks ago? Before that? I'm not sure exactly. Approximately. Maybe a month before. So you visit roughly once a month? Around that. How long do these visits typically last? An hour or two. You testified you're very concerned about your father's welfare, but you visit once a month for an hour or two? I have a job. Responsibilities. Of course. What about phone calls? How often do you call? Weekly, usually. Usually. Not always. Most weeks. Your father's birthday is January 24th. Did you call him on his birthday this year? Pause. Long. I texted him. You texted. What time? I don't remember exactly. Was it that day or the next day? It might have been the next day. So you didn't call. You texted late for your father's 72nd birthday. I was busy. Too busy to call your father? The man you love? The man you're so concerned about? That's not fair. What's not fair about it? I'm asking about your actions. You claim deep concern for his welfare, but you don't visit regularly, you don't call consistently, and you couldn't find time to call on his birthday. I was going through a difficult time. What kind of difficult time? Financial stress? Work issues? Financial stress. Let's talk about that. How much money has your father given you in the past 2 years? Pause. I don't know the exact amount. Approximately. Maybe 50 or 60,000. Maybe. Mr. Harrison, your father kept records. The total is $133,800. Does that sound accurate? Kevin's face went pale. I didn't realize it was that much. You didn't realize? Did you ever pay any of it back? We were planning to. When? When we could afford it. You went to Turks and Caicos last year. That's expensive. That was a gift from Vanessa's parents. You renovated your kitchen. That's expensive. We did some updates. While owing your father over $100,000, we didn't think of it as owing. He offered to help. Did he offer? Or did you ask? We asked, but he offered. Which is it? Both. We explained our situation. He offered to help. Every time? Most times. Michael pulled out papers. I have a text message from you to your father. December 12th. Emergency. Can't make rent this month. Can you cover it? That's not explaining a situation and waiting for an offer. That's asking for money. I was desperate. I understand. But it's not the same as your father offering unprompted, is it? No. How many times did you ask your father for money in 2 years? I don't know. More than 10? Probably. More than 20? Maybe. And how many times did you thank him? Silence. Mr. Harrison, how many times did you thank your father for giving you $130,800? I thanked him. Every time? I don't remember. Did you ever ask how he was doing financially? Whether he could afford to keep helping? I assumed he could. He has his pension. Did you ask? No. So you assumed your elderly father could afford to give you over $100,000 because he has a pension. Did you know how much his pension is? No. Did you know his savings balance? No. Did you ask about any of this before requesting money? No. But you're very concerned about his welfare. That's different. How? That's about his health, his safety, not his finances. We're trying to protect him. From what? From making poor decisions. Like giving you money? Bradford objected. Sustained. Michael sat down. Kevin stepped down. Looked at me briefly. Looked away. Bradford called Dr. Mitchell. Michael had subpoenaed him. Now he was technically the other side's witness. Dr. Mitchell, how long have you treated Walter Harrison? 30 years. In that time, have you observed any cognitive decline? No. None? His cognitive function is excellent for his age. Did you conduct a formal evaluation recently? Yes, 3 weeks ago, at his request. What was the result? He scored in the 96th percentile for his age group, no indication of dementia or cognitive impairment. Bradford paused. Doctor, isn't it true that patients can perform well on cognitive tests in clinical settings but still have functional problems at home? That's possible in some cases. So this evaluation doesn't necessarily reflect his day-to-day functioning? The evaluation measures cognitive ability. If he's scoring that high, his cognitive ability is intact. But memory problems, confusion, those could still exist? Not at the level that would support a dementia diagnosis. Not based on what I've seen. Have you spent time with Mr. Harrison outside of medical appointments? No. So you're only seeing him in brief clinical visits? That's the nature of medical practice. So you can't speak to his functioning at home, whether he's forgetting to pay bills, missing appointments, getting confused about daily tasks. I can speak to his cognitive testing, which is normal. Bradford sat down, looked satisfied. He'd planted doubt. Michael stood. Dr. Mitchell, Mr. Harrison requested this evaluation. That shows insight into his own condition, doesn't it? Yes. People with significant cognitive decline typically lack that insight. And if he were having the memory problems described, forgetting conversations, repeating questions, would that show up on cognitive testing? Yes. Memory testing is part of the evaluation. And his memory testing was normal? Better than normal. So, the specific problems alleged, forgetting conversations, repeating questions, if they were actually happening, you would have detected them? Very likely, yes. Thank you. The APS worker, Amanda Chen, testified next, confirmed her visit, her observations, her conclusion. I found no safety concerns. The home was well maintained. Mr. Harrison was oriented and appropriate. I saw no evidence of cognitive impairment. Bradford, cross-examined, suggested one visit wasn't enough, that people can hide symptoms. Michael countered. Ms. Chen, in your professional experience, how many guardianship cases have you evaluated? Hundreds. And in those cases, when someone is actually experiencing significant cognitive decline, can they typically hide it for an entire home visit? Not usually. There are tells, confusion about dates, inconsistent stories, environmental clues. Did you see any of those tells with Mr. Harrison? No. He was clear, consistent, and organized. Thank you. Bradford called character witnesses, Vanessa's friends, people who'd seen the Facebook post, who'd been told about my decline. They testified I seemed forgetful when they'd met me, confused, distant. I didn't remember meeting most of them. Michael called Harold, Barbara. Both testified I was sharp, engaged, managing well. I have coffee with Walt every week, Harold said. He's the same man he's been for 30 years, sharp as ever. Then Michael called me. I walked to the stand, placed my hand on the Bible, swore to tell the truth. Michael asked basic questions: name, age, address, how long I'd lived there. I answered clearly, calmly. Mr. Harrison, do you understand why we're here today? My son and daughter-in-law are asking the court to declare me incompetent. How do you feel about that? I think it's wrong. I'm not incompetent. Why do you think they're doing this? Objection. Bradford stood. Calls for speculation. Your Honor, Mr. Harrison can testify to his own perceptions. I'll allow it. Why do you think they're doing this, Mr. Harrison? Financial reasons. They want access to my assets. That's a serious allegation. It's based on evidence. I've given them $133,800 in 2 years. They've never paid me back. Now they want legal control of everything I own. Did you offer that money as gifts? Some of it. The down payment and business investment were supposed to be loans. We discussed payback. It never happened. Do you have that in writing? No. I trusted my son. Do you still trust him? Pause. Hard question. I don't know. Mr. Harrison, your daughter-in-law testified you've been forgetting things, repeating questions. Is that true? No. Have you forgotten conversations? Not that I'm aware of. Have you called Kevin multiple times asking the same question? Once, maybe twice I've called to confirm plans, but not repeatedly, not like she described. Why do you think she would testify otherwise? To make me look incompetent, to support her case. She's lying? Yes. Why would she lie under oath? Because she wants my money, my house. And this is how she gets it. Michael asked about the power of attorney, why I refused. Because I don't need it. I'm managing fine, and because once I sign that, I lose control. They can do whatever they want. Do you trust them to act in your best interests? No. Why not? Because they haven't been acting in my best interest for 2 years. They've been taking. Now they want legal authority to take more. Bradford cross-examined. Mr. Harrison, you seem angry at your son and daughter-in-law. I'm disappointed. You're accusing them of trying to steal from you. I'm observing a pattern. Isn't it possible you're misinterpreting their concern as something malicious? It's possible, but unlikely. You're 72, living alone. Your wife passed 2 years ago. Isn't it reasonable that your family might worry about you? Worry is reasonable. Filing for guardianship based on lies is not. You say lies. They say concern. Who's the jury supposed to believe? The evidence. What evidence? The cognitive evaluation showing I'm fine. The APS report clearing me, my testimony, my functioning, everything except their unsupported claims. But Mr. Harrison, guardianship proceedings exist precisely because people who need help sometimes can't see they need it. Isn't it possible you're the one who can't see clearly? It's possible, but I've been evaluated by professionals. They disagree with you. One doctor, one APS worker, both based on brief interactions. And you have what? My daughter-in-law's Facebook post? Her testimony? Which is worth more? Bradford asked more questions, tried to rattle me. I stayed calm, answered directly. After an hour, he sat down. Both sides rested. Judge Morrison took a break. Came back 30 minutes later. I've reviewed all testimony and evidence. This is a difficult case. On one hand, we have family members expressing genuine concern. On the other, we have an individual who appears competent and has professional evaluations supporting that competency. She paused, looked at papers. The standard for guardianship is clear and convincing evidence that the individual cannot manage their own affairs. In this case, petitioners have provided testimony about concerning behaviors, but testimony alone, unsupported by medical evidence, is not sufficient to meet that standard. My chest loosened slightly. Mr. Harrison has provided a recent cognitive evaluation showing normal function, an APS clearance, his own testimony, which I found credible and clear. While I understand petitioners' concerns, I cannot find clear and convincing evidence of incapacity. She looked at Vanessa and Kevin. I'm denying the petition for guardianship. Mr. Harrison retains full authority over his personal and financial affairs. She looked at me. Mr. Harrison, I encourage you to consider future planning. A power of attorney when you're ready. Advance directives. These tools can prevent conflicts later, but that's your decision to make. Thank you, Your Honor. We're adjourned. The gavel came down. Michael squeezed my shoulder. You won. I nodded. Couldn't speak yet. Across the room, Vanessa's face was red. Kevin looked stunned. We filed out. They left immediately. Didn't look back. Michael walked me to his car. What now? Now I go home. They might appeal. Let them. The evidence doesn't change. They might try something else. I'll be ready. He drove me home. We didn't talk much. Send me your bill, I said when we arrived. Already done. Worth every penny. I went inside. The house was quiet, same as always. I sat in Dorothy's chair. The leather was worn smooth. My phone rang. Barbara. Did you win? Yes. Thank God. Come over. I made dinner. I'm tired. Come anyway. I went. She'd made pot roast. We ate. Talked. She didn't ask for details. After dinner, my phone buzzed. Text from Kevin. Dad, we need to talk. I didn't respond. Another text. Please, let me explain. I turned off my phone. The next morning, Kevin's car was in my driveway. He was sitting on the porch steps. I opened the door. Stood there. Dad, I'm sorry. For what? For all of it. For believing Vanessa. For the guardianship. For everything. Why are you here? Because you're my father. Because I was wrong. Where's Vanessa? Home. We're having problems. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? I don't wish you unhappiness, Kevin. I just wish you'd made better choices. I know. I see that now. She had me convinced you were declining, that we were helping you. You were helping yourselves. I didn't see it that way. That's the problem. He stood. Can I come in? Not today. When? I don't know. I need time. How much time? However much I need. His face crumpled slightly. I love you, Dad. I know. Do you love me? Hard question. You're my son. I'll always love you. But I don't like you very much right now. He nodded, got in his car, drove away. I went inside, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, the one I'd built from oak in 1982. My phone rang. I'd turned it back on. Didn't recognize the number. Mr. Harrison, this is Jennifer Kim from Channel 7 News. We'd like to do a story about your guardianship case. It raises important questions about elder abuse. No, thank you. It could help other families. I said no. I hung up. The phone rang 6 more times that day. Reporters, producers, someone from a podcast. I stopped answering. Barbara came over that evening. You're famous. It's all over Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Well, you're on it now. Guardianship case denied. Judge rules family members lacked evidence. People are talking. Let them talk. Some are calling it elder abuse. It was. Are you going to do interviews? No. You could help people, show them what to watch for. I could. But I'm tired. I just want to be left alone. She didn't push. A week later, I got a call from my bank. Fraud alert. Someone had tried to access my account using my information. I called the number. Confirmed I hadn't authorized any access. We've locked the account. You'll need to come in to reset. Security. I went that afternoon. Changed all my passwords. Added 2-factor authentication. Has this happened before? The manager asked. No. Do you know who might have your information? I have an idea. I called Michael, told him about the access attempt. Can you prove it was them? The bank has the IP address. Michael, can we prosecute? Maybe. But Walter, think about what that means. Criminal charges against your son. He tried to access my account after losing the guardianship case. Or Vanessa did. Same thing. Is it? I thought about that. I don't know anymore. Let me send them a cease and desist. A warning. If it happens again, we'll escalate. Fine. The letter went out. No response came back, but the attempt stopped. Thanksgiving came. No invitation, no call. I had dinner with Barbara again. Her kids Skyped from Oregon. Next year come visit us, they said. Both of you. Maybe, Barbara said. Christmas was the same. Quiet. Barbara and I exchanged gifts, watched old movies. Kevin texted. Merry Christmas, Dad, I responded. Merry Christmas. That was it. January 24th, my 73rd birthday. The phone rang at 8 a.m. Kevin. Happy birthday, Dad. Thank you. Can I take you to dinner? Where's Vanessa? We separated. She moved out last month. I'm sorry. I'm not. I see it now. What she was doing. What I let happen. What do you want, Kevin? To have dinner with my father. On his birthday. Just dinner? Just dinner. Okay. We met at the steakhouse. Same place we'd gone for my 70th birthday. Before Vanessa. Before everything. We ordered. Made small talk. He asked about the house. I asked about work. After the food came, he set down his fork. Dad, I need to say this. I was wrong. About everything. I let her convince me you were declining. I believed her instead of trusting my own eyes. And I'm sorry. Thank you. That's it? Just thank you? What do you want me to say? I don't know. That you forgive me? I'm working on it. How long will that take? As long as it takes. He nodded. Fair enough. We finished dinner. He paid. We walked to the parking lot. Dad, I know I don't deserve to ask this, but can we try to rebuild? Try how? Dinner once a month, no agenda, no money talk, just father and son. What about the money I gave you? I'm paying it back. It'll take time, but I'm paying it back. All of it? Every dollar. That wasn't necessary. Yes, it was. I looked at him. My son. He looked older, tired, maybe more honest than he'd been in years. Once a month. Dinner. Thank you. Kevin, one condition. Anything. No lies. Not about small things, not about big things. If we're doing this, it's honest or it's nothing. Honest, I promise. We shook hands. Felt formal, felt necessary. He's kept the promise so far. We've had dinner 3 times. He's made 2 payments, $2,000 each. It'll take years to repay everything. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But we're talking. That's something. I still live in the house, still have Dorothy's chair, still build furniture in the garage. Barbara and I still have dinner most weeks. Harold and I still have coffee. I'm 73, living alone, managing fine, and I've still got control of my own life. That's worth everything. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.